guys, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Precious and I like to read a lot. So much so that I may have read 75 books in 2024. The second half of 2024, because surprisingly I didn't read for 2 months straight. I don't know, but I read a lot of books and it was actually pretty hard for me to come up with this 10 books that I loved, because while I loved a lot of the books, I found that none of the books just had me in a chokehold. I think maybe 5 of them had me by the reins, completely in a chokehold, but not all of them, which was hard because in 2023, I had such a great reading year. I was on such a high and I don't know what it was. But so I'm going to go through 10 books that I would say I would give a 6-star to if I could. If you don't know, feel free to follow me on Goodreads so y'all can keep track of what I'm currently reading. I also have TikTok and Instagram. I would love to see you guys over there as well. I love meeting new people, so please follow me over there. Also, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Your girl is lacking on subscribers right now. This is a new page, of course, but feel free to subscribe. I just went through all the books that I read in 2024. I like this book, I love this book, and then I had to narrow it down. So this is in no particular order. I only have 4 of the physical copies because some of them I read on my Kindle, and then I also let some friends borrow some other ones. So we are going to go through those books as well. So the first book that quite literally, honestly had me in a chokehold is This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. I've talked about this book before. I've talked about this one as well as her other one, Before I Let Go, on my other pages. And this one just made me feel so many different emotions. I do not know what it was about the book. I have a great marriage, but it was just such a different feeling towards that book. I really loved it. Soledad and Josiah. Soledad was married. This was more like a forbidden romance because Josiah is the man who put her husband away, but her husband did some dirty stuff. So it really wasn't her husband or him. It was just how the cookie crumbled, whatever. So that was the first book that I really just loved. And I think no other book actually was able to compare to it. It was almost like I was in a hangover or a slump. I wasn't in a slump. I think I was more of a hangover. Nothing just gave me that high. Is that what drug dealers always say? Nothing really gave me that high. The second and the third book, because I read them back to back, was Caught Up and Play Along by Liz Tomford. I'm quite literally so sad that we only get one more book in this series. Can we just keep going on and on with this series, because I want to know everything. She is such an amazing writer. So Caught Up followed Miller and Kai, and Miller is the nanny. I love me a single dad trope. Love a single daddy. And so she's the nanny, but she is also daughter. You're not supposed to sleep with the coach's daughter, but what do you know? And then Play Along followed Kennedy and Isaiah, Marriage of Convenience. And the way that Isaiah loved Kennedy. Oh my God, he loved her from the moment he saw her. I just loved the book. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Ate it up. Then I read Wild Love and Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. Elsie, girl, we've talked about this, but she just does not write a bad trope. She just does not write a bad book. Like, her and Liz just need to pair up together, honestly, because the way they just write books so flawlessly, wanting more. And then we have Wild Side coming out in March. Oh my God, I just need more Elsie fix. Such a great series. I loved it. If y'all can't tell, I have the special edition of Wild Love up there. I hope they come out with a Wild Eyes edition. Love this series. So Wild Love, it was more of a workplace romance, childhood best friends. And then Wild Eyes was like a single dad trope. Not really nanny, but just more of a single dad trope. She lived on the farm or on the land, whatever, to help out. So I love those series. And then it's so hard for me to say this book because of just the triggers in this book. But Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. Oh my gosh. If any book shattered me whole, put me back together, I loved it. But this book was very hard to read. I had to go through some pauses, some breaks, but I loved it. The way Jennifer just was able to just then heal you. If you are new to Jennifer Hartman, I don't even know how to describe it. Still Beating follows Cora and Dean. They essentially get kidnapped together for a few weeks, months, I can't remember. And they are expected to do very heinous things to each other. And it tests their morality, honestly. And if they can truly overcome some things. The book was hard. I can't preface that enough, so please read the trigger warnings. But it was such an amazing book that I definitely cried, teared up. I'm not, like, it takes a lot to get me to cry, but I definitely teared up in that book. It was a phenomenal book. The next book that I absolutely loved is All I've Wanted, All I've Needed by A.E. Valdez. Harlow and Asen. It was Harlow who essentially ends relationship with her current boyfriend, and she thought he was it for her till she met Asen and just honestly just formed a friendship. Sometimes the best lovers are friends first, and in this case, it proved her right. Asen was that friend for her, and the way they just loved each other, they chose each other. It was just beautiful. I loved it. I say it was beautiful to watch, but it was beautiful to read. I felt like I was in the book. And A.E. Valdez, she just never misses. Love the entire series, but that book had me in a chokehold. Then the next book was Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. So funny enough, I read her Yours Truly last year, Part of Your World, and Just for the Summer this year. I know, I'm so weird. I'm so sorry, y'all. But I read Just for the Summer, and oh my gosh, I loved it. The toilet billboard kept cracking me up. Essentially, so the book follows Justin and Emma, and Justin and Emma seem to have a curse, or Justin seems to have a curse about him. Every woman he dates, the next man she dates, she's engaged. And it kind of happens to Emma too, but not so much-ish, I guess. But they are like, maybe if we date each other, we'll cancel out the curse. That's not how it works, y'all. But they were very committed. They would go on dates, they would kiss, and then what do you know? They fall in love happily ever after. No, I'm just kidding. It's not happily ever after. There's definitely some parts in this book that had me tearing up. I think this was the book that I definitely cried a little bit more towards the last chapter. I loved it. Oh, I ate it up with a spoon. It was so sweet, so cute. I think y'all will all love it. Make sure you read them in order because they make sense if you read them in order. Absolutely loved it. And then the last two books, they are new fan favorites, and do not come for me if you do not like them because I don't care. But reading is subjective, so it is what it is. Would be Swift and Saddled and Lost and Lassoed have become two of my new favorite books. I think both of these women are just so misunderstood, and I feel like sometimes it can be very hard for other people to understand them. But this one followed Ada and Wes. She's a person that needs somebody to fight for her, someone to show for her, because she's always showing up for other people. So absolutely loved it. Then I just finished this a couple of days ago. This follows Teddy and Augustus, which is Wes's brother. Augustus is Wes's brother. Ada would be described as not a girl's girl for most people. More so because I think she has never had girlfriends or true people who actually cared about her. But then it follows Wes, who is a golden retriever, cinnamon roll, whatever you want to call him. He was the sweetest. He showed up every day and he realized she is that person that needs somebody to fight for her, someone to show for her. Childhood rivals. But she is misunderstood by Augustus. Augustus always thought she was just the annoying, best friend trope. So, of course, there's definitely some forbidden. Expects them, I think, to end up together. That's an inkling, but loved it. So, those are the 10 books that I would say are my holy grail for 2024. I absolutely loved them. I ate up. Feel free to check out any of my reviews on Goodreads. Like I said at the beginning of the video, feel free to follow me on Goodreads, Insta, TikTok, wherever. I also have a book club if you want to join my book club. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I love y'all. Bye.